Hello everyone and welcome to the UkeStuff channel. Today we're going to be looking at the uke guide for the Hula Beach UKH-30S. Now this one was a little bit harder to find. It's on Amazon but under a different name, sort of like Bridgewater or something like that, but you can find it if you look under UKH-30S. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to look at subjective matters with the ukulele, then talk about objective matters, and then I'll do a summary and give it a rating at the very end. So let's do it. First of all, the instrument comes with a light gig bag. I've got it right here. It's not completely thin. It's got a pocket. It does not have a back strap. It's okay. It's functional, but really you'd probably want to get something a little thicker than that with a few more bonuses to the bag. But that's about $69 right now on Amazon when this review is being filmed. The value, here's the deal. There are a lot better ukuleles available at the price range. So what I have to say is you're definitely getting less value than the price of the instrument for what they're asking for it. The build quality overall is pretty good. They've done a good job with the build. There's a little bit of glue seepage on the inside. The real killer, and we'll be coming back to that, is that it's really thick laminate. It's a laminate spruce top. It's a laminate mahogany back and sides, and it's really thick and not very resonant, and that's a build issue, and that's kind of the fatal flaw of this instrument. As for appearance, it actually looks really pretty nice. I thought that the top was actually cedar, maybe even solid cedar, until I looked at it a little bit more closely and realized that it's a laminate. And then when I looked at the description on Amazon, I found out it was supposed to be laminate spruce. So it really does come off more as like a cedar color. It's not just the lighting messing you up there, but it doesn't have that whiteness that you traditionally have with spruce. Has some other really nice features. The rosette looks nice. The shape of the fretboard, while it's pretty common, looks nice. The headstock, the Hula Beach, might be a little plain up there, but the rosewood looks pretty nice. I mean, overall, and the ABS binding looks nice. The mahogany pattern looks pretty nice. It's a nice looking ukulele, so I'm not going to knock it for that. It looks nice, and it's generally pretty well built. They're a little harder to find because you have to search for that UKH-30S, and then you'll be able to find it. And in terms of playability, it's generally pretty good. The one thing that I'll say is a real positive about it is that it's set up really well. I'm positive that they didn't do anything special to this one that they would any other one, but they really got the action at the first fret and the action at the 12th really good, so it's pretty easy to play. Overall, the fret edges are starting to work on getting sharp, but they're not yet. So with enough time that might happen, but for now, it's still okay. So that brings it to sound quality, and that's where this instrument just suffers. It is muted. It lacks high frequency, and it just doesn't sound so good. So you saw me tune it right before we went. Now that's that. Now I'm going to pull out, again, it's a concert scale neck, but the body is soprano neck. Here's the flight, TUSL-35. $54.99, so basically around $15 cheaper. And that's with strings that I don't even like on that one. So can you imagine the difference then when you have the Hula Beach here? It's just too muted. I'm sorry. So sound, not a lot of volume. It's really dark. You could try other strings, but I don't even think that fluorocarbons would bring enough life into the top end to really justify buying it. So if you're thinking about the Hula Beach instrument, this is where I have to say probably not. If they did a reworking of it and used thinner laminate, I think the bracing is just traditional bracing in here, maybe, but sorry, I cannot recommend this to you as an instrument. So let's go to objective issues then that aren't really debatable. It's a soprano instrument. The scale length from nut to saddle is 13.5 inches, 12 frets to the body. There are no side marker dots. Traditional double bout body, laminate spruce soundboard, laminate mahogany back and sides with an ABS binding. The fretboard is rosewood. The bridge is a slotted bridge with rosewood. It does not have a radius fretboard. The nut and saddle, I believe, are plastic. They're not compensated, by the way. The saddle is not compensated. The finish is sort of flat. It's not even a satin finish. It doesn't have much of a sheen at all, so it's a very flat finish, which is not unattractive. The overall length is only 20.5 inches, and it only weighs 13.1 ounces. So I think about, what if they used a thinner laminate on it? Goodness, it'd be so light and probably so boomy. It's so close to being something really good, but it just isn't. Traditional open geared tuners. The action of the first fret was 0.5 millimeters. The action of the 12th fret was 2.5 millimeters. Dead on. Wonderful there. The nut width is 35.40 millimeters, so a 35 millimeter nut with a spacing of 8.35 millimeters between the strings. Although if you noticed, that's the most narrow. A couple of these strings are not quite spaced the same. It doesn't really bother you when you play it, but when you look at it, you go, oh, this one's a little further apart, and you can actually see that with your eyes. And at the first fret, the spacing G to A is 28.15 millimeters. So, pretty standard 34, 35 millimeter nut spacing for most instruments. The depth at the third fret is 21.57 millimeters. It's just your traditional kind of not overly chunky, but kind of C-shaped profile, in kind of just a normal depth neck for what you would get with an import ukulele. So let's go into the summary. It's generally pretty well built. It looks nice. It plays well. I'm not saying sounds well. It plays well. But this laminate is just too thick, and it just kills the instrument. So even though the setup is great on it, and the playability is overall pretty decent, you can't make up for that soundboard and how it just kills the sound. So, as a note to Hula Beach, if you're looking at this review, if you can find a way to make your laminate thinner, you can have a heck of a great instrument on your hands. But right now, there are just too many instruments at or below this price point that are so many times better sounding. I'll give it 1 ukulele out of 5. And that's the Hula Beach. Again, the UKH-30S, which is available on Amazon. So I hope that's helpful. If you're interested in one of these, for now, I'd probably tell you to steer away from it. Thanks for watching, and we'll have more content for you here in the future.